Hold on to your seats because the streets of love and hip-hop Atlanta are on fire again, and this time it's dirtier than ever. Word is swirling from several insider whispers, and stunning fans Yandy Smith-Harris stormed left filming in tears, slamming doors behind her following a jaw-dropping altercation according to footage from the set. Rasheeda apparently switched sides, not with her old friend, but with Jessica Dime, and things went ugly real quick. Fast. They say the drama popped out like a volcano at what was supposed to be a quiet girls' night, but instead it turned into pandemonium. We're talking flying wigs, screaming accusations, and friendships hanging by a thread, still trying to piece it all out. But early leaks say Rasheeda's startling betrayal cut Yandy deep, and Jessica didn't hold back with her words or her fists. Did Rasheeda swap sides? And what did Jessica say that caused Yandy to lose it completely? Don't worry, we've got every messy detail and emotional twist heading your way. You won't want to miss this one. It's filled with betrayal, grief, true love, and hip-hop fire. It was intended to be a casual meal to lighten the mood after weeks of stress, but as soon as Yandy stepped in, the tall mahogany table was decorated with flickering candles and rose petals spread in the center. A sharp contrast to the brewing storm. Jessica Dime was already there, sat at the head of the table, her stance easy, but her gaze sharply scanning for her target. Rasheeda came moments later, delivering fake smiles and soothing laughing, though the stiffness in her shoulders showed her anxieties. The rest of the cast shuffled in, exchanging awkward greetings and furtive glances, understanding that tonight may blow up at any minute. Yandy slid. Jessica sat in her chair, took a deep breath before forcing a grin, poured herself a glass of sparkling water, her fingers quivering slightly across from her, raised her wine glass, and gave a slow, deliberate toast to the truths. "We can't hide." The room fell silent, and Yandy's lips clenched. She responded with a courteous cheer, but the chilly edge in her voice sliced through the hush. Rasheeda cleared her throat, hoping to salvage the mood. "Let's just eat and talk about fun things," she remarked, but her voice cracked, and everyone knew she was trying to play peacekeeper. But peace was the last thing on anyone's mind. The appetizers arrived, shrimp cocktails and bruschetta, but no one touched a bite. Jessica leaned forward, elbows on the table, gaze never leaving Yandy. "So, Miss Perfect, how's life treating you now, since you're so busy bossing everyone around?" The words dripped with sweetness and poison. Yandy's hand paused midway. Screech of silverware ceased. She took a breath. "I'm doing fine," she said, voice stable, though her cheeks flushed. "Amusing how some people need to tear others down to feel big." Rasheeda shuffled uneasily. Jessica smiled that knowing smile. "Girl, I've simply been keeping it genuine, and some of us don't have time for phony crowns," whispered among the other ladies. Bambi fiddled with her napkin. Erica looked away, pretending to scrutinize her plate. Rasheeda gazed at both sides ripped, and Yandy placed down her fork. "Real crowns." Jessica let out a soft giggle. "Oh honey, you acting like you invented hard work. Don't forget who's been grinding." Just as long hot embers of old wounds shone and accusations flew like sparks, Rasheeda tried to intervene and stop it. "Both of you. It's why we're here, to bond." But her soothing voice was buried beneath the growing storm. Voices overlaid. Yandy accusing Jessica of clout, chasing Jessica, firing back about the shattered promises. Rasheeda stuck between allegiance to a friend and a friendship broken by secrets. The air tasted like tension and spilled wine. The others watched, some sympathizing, some happy. Cameras rolled, recording every grimace, every tremble of the lip, every grip of the fist. The crew exchanged tense looks. "Do we cut, leave it, ride?" The dinner degenerated. Jessica slammed her hand on the table, making glasses clink. "You think you're the only one with a story? Newsflash, everyone's got dirt." Yandy stood, her chair scraping the floor. "You think I don't know? You think you can come for me with stories?" She rushed toward Jessica, voice quivering with fury and hurt. Rasheeda rose too, standing between them. "Yandy, cool." She placed a hand on either of their arms, but neither listened. Yandy turned on Rasheeda. "Keep out of this. You're just jealous you didn't win the crown." Laughing burst from Jessica, high-pitched and harsh. "That's right, Rasheeda, say it. You know who deserves the crown." Rasheeda's face stiffened. "I'm not selecting sides." But the words. Rasheeda's hand slipped. Jessica sneered, and Yandy's. Rasheeda dropped her hands and looked directly at Yandy. "Perhaps you should look in the mirror." The quiet fell like a guillotine on Yandy. Rasheeda's head bowed. "I'm tired of pretending." The betrayal was visible in Yandy's eyes. Shock, pain, and disbelief. Jessica went closer with a low voice. That's right, we're tired of the self-righteous act. Yandy pulled away. The table between them felt insurmountable, glasses tipped over. Red wine pooled, echoing the tension that marred the night. Someone yelled, but it was drowned out by the storm outside. The crew called everyone to the set for a group scene. Gandhi arrived last, shoulders stiff, avoiding eye contact with Jessica, who lounged with an air of unshakable confidence. Rasheeda hovered between them, mute and pale. Cameras rolled as producers filmed every sideways glance, every tiny expression on cue. The women began the casual breakfast chat, but it degenerated into clipped queries and stinging glares. The city skyline behind them felt like a silent witness to the unfolding drama. Yandy why single quotations, as replied to Jessica's casual good morning, Queen Bee was icy cold. I don't do titles for people who stab me in the back. The Fox brunch crumbled into real enmity. Rasheeda sought to divert the conversation back to pleasantries, but laughing behind the camera interrupted her, and a handheld off-camera shot jerked toward Jessica, who was gloating. That scene cut directly to Yandy's furious after the shot. The actors returned to the green room, and as they spotted Yandy's stormy countenance, they became silent. Bambi whispered to Erica that we needed to defuse this, but neither dared approach Yandy. Instead, Erica sat near Rasheeda, who stared at nothing. Scrappy pounded his foot, frustrated by the quiet, crossed the room and leaned in. No one moved while supporters online called for a round table. Tweets requested a sit-down, a heart-to-heart mediated by cameras. Trended hashtag dot. Yandy storm off hashtag dot. Reed betrays Jessica champions everyone. Wanting an explanation behind the scenes, the producers arranged a unique confessional shot where each woman would film her version of events. Part 2 of the drama would center on these raw and uncensored confessions. Consented to tape first, she sat before the camera, makeup streaked with tears from the night before. Her voice cracked as she whispered, I came here to encourage and support. Instead, I was blindsided. And what hurts most is Rasheeda, someone I trusted. With my heart, she halted, gulped Jessica. I don't even know why you're furious at me. But hearing that laughter on the voice memo cut deepest her words. Rasheeda sat beneath glaring lighting, shoulders down. I made a mistake, she continued, her voice scarcely audible. Let my fear of losing favor blind me. Yandy has been my friend since day one, but Jessica's laughing in that tape gave me power. So I followed her, inhaled hard. I regret it. I want to make it right. Her gaze flickered upward and voice trembling. Please pardon me. Her confession hung in the air, frail as glass. Then Jessica took the seat. She smirked at the camera. You want my side? She said, voice smooth. I'm true. I'm honest. Yandy, she's been playing a game for too long. Royalty games. Queen acts. You become bored of crowns. So I knocked it off. She let the words sink. Sorry if that hurts sentiments, but this is reality TV. The confessional tapes were turned into a special episode teaser with dramatic music. Shalene's eyes were shining, and I was on top. Fast cuts show frames of tears, gasps, and sarcastic laughing. The preview went live on social media that afternoon, and the internet exploded with fan comments. Poured in sympathizers for Yandy, critics of Jessica, merciful hearts for Rasheeda. Comments were immediate and fierce. Production scheduled an emergency cast meeting. Everyone gathered in a circle beneath studio lights. Quiet weighed heavy till the executive producer started. We're at a crossroads. This drama is gold for ratings, but real. Rasheeda's shoulders shook. She bit her lip. Yandy squeezed her nails into fists. Jessica folded her arms, unblinking. Erica stepped forward with her voice. We've gone through so much. We can't let one incident define us, but we also need honesty. She glanced at Rasheeda and asked, will you apologize to Yandy in person? Rasheeda nodded, with tears in her gaze. Yandy stood with her arms crossed. Go ahead, she urged, her voice stiff. Rasheeda approached slowly. I'm sorry, Yandy, I was wrong. She stopped a foot away. Yandy's eyes filled. She breathed, but her posture remained hard, and Jessica spoke, cutting the tension. I don't owe you an apology, but maybe we need to talk this out. She stepped nearer, and Yandy's jaw stiffened. For a minute, the entire room held their breath until Yandy remarked, I never expected you to apologize, Jessica. I expected you to rebuild trust. Her words were like ice and fire combined. With the executive producer side, this is TV gold, but it's also real life. For you girls, part 3 of this story will be the reconciliation. Fallout either way, cameras will be rolling. The girls nodded, each lost in their own thoughts as the meeting concluded. Rasheeda lingered beside Yandy as she reached out, and Yandy didn't withdraw for a brief second. It appeared like healing. Scrappy prowled the hallways, phone in hand, scanning trending hashtags and reaction videos. He browsed through angry tweets. Your options. Stillness fell. Yandy's stare fixated on Rasheeda. Rasheeda's lips trembled. Jessica watched, arms crossed, with a trembling breath. Yandy spoke first. I arrived. I trusted you, Rasheeda, and you stabbed me in the back. Rasheeda's eyes welled up. I'm sorry, she sobbed. I chased you because I was afraid of losing you. Approbation. Yandy closed her eyes and then opened them. That hurt, she whispered gently, but I feel your regret. She turned to Jessica. And why did you laugh at me? Make me the villain? Jessica's smirk faded. Since in this society only. The Erica and Bambi exchanged uneasy glances as she said, I wanted to prove I have power. Scrappy cleared his throat. This is television, but it is also real. You 3 must decide how to go. Rasheeda gazed pleadingly at Yandy. Can we try to heal? Jessica peered at. They were silent until she replied, I'm not sure whether I can forgive or forget, but I value honesty. The words hung like fragile bridges, and Yandy nodded. I'm willing to find a solution, but trust takes time. Rasheeda reached over and softly grasped Yandy's hand. Jessica halted and placed her fingertips on the table. It was a start. The cameras snapped, catching this fragile reconciliation behind the scenes. Producers cheered softly. Ratings gold as they departed the set. The ladies strolled together, creating an uneasy alliance. Yandy followed Rasheeda's lead, while Jessica grudgingly fell in step. The air between them was electrified, but not with the afternoon sun, shined brightly, promising new chapters. But the storm clouds of doubt still persisted. In part 3 closed on this shaky togetherness, leaving viewers wondering if this alliance would hold or if ambition would destroy it again. It was the first day of. The atmosphere was dense with unsaid tension. During the group challenge shoot, which took place in a huge loft bathed in early light streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows, cameras recorded every step as the ladies entered one by one. Gandhi arrived boldly, despite her stiff jaw, and Rasheeda followed, still carrying the weight of last night's apologies. Jessica slid in with a calculated nonchalance as if nothing had happened. The rest of the company lurked in the background, nervous bystanders to an alliance that felt as delicate as spun glass. The director called action, and LHHATL were ordered to create a nice brunch, passing mimosas and strawberries around a marble tabletop, but camaraderie was a fad. Yandy welcomed everyone with a calculated grin, but her eyes never quite decided on Jessica. Rasheeda walked well from dish to dish, providing nibbles and remarks, yet her voice trembled at unexpected intervals. Jessica sat back against the counter, arms folded, nodding graciously but scanning expressions like a hawk as the play progressed. Each sentence uttered carried the weight of hidden history. The script called for casual conversation about summer plans, but the editor's remarks hinted at introducing a little of hot chemistry. Producers watched from monitors, anticipating pyrotechnics. True to from one of the cast members half-joked, you girls look suspiciously calm. Laughing ensued, but it was forced. Yandy darted a quick glance to Rasheeda, who shrugged apologetically. Jessica lifted her eyebrow in a subtle challenge, and the cameras cut to close-ups of their features, full of fear, shame, and defiance. After a few takes, the director called cut, and the ladies gathered on a velvet couch, signaling for an intimate moment, and the producer whispered, "We need honest reactions. Tell them there's a surprise guest." Yandy's brow furrowed, Rasheeda's eyes opened, and Jessica smiled thinly. Minutes later, the door opened and Michelle walked in, holding a package sealed in crimson wax. Gasps rippled around the room as she announced, "This letter includes." She tore it open and read aloud, "A secret that may change everything. Only one of you will be left unharmed when the truth is exposed. Choose wisely." There is silence. The camera caught every flutter of eyelid, every tightening fist. Michelle looked at them, voice low, "Your past actions." Yandy and Rasheeda exchanged glances. They had to decide whether to trust the alliance they'd just formed or to protect themselves. Jessica, for once, seemed apprehensive, her confident veneer suddenly broken. The next phase was unscripted, and each lady had to stand and share a secret about herself, something true or raw, with the rule of honesty or elimination. First up was Yandy, who stood heart-pounding and talked. "I sacrificed so much for this family, just to feel betrayed. My secret is that I still carry the sorrow of that betrayal every day." Her confession garnered a quiet gasp from some. Rasheeda's palm trembled as she witnessed her friend's vulnerability. Jessica's lips twisted into a tight smile, and Rasheeda rose, her voice shaking. "I followed someone else's lead instead of my heart, and I harmed the person I care about the most. My secret is that I'm worried an apology won't be enough." Tears flowed down her cheeks, and Yandy's stare softened, but her lips remained pinched. Within the coalition between Jessica and Rasheeda, triumph tasted sour when it was earned by betraying Yandy. Later that evening, social media flared. Fans uploaded Yandy's exit video, rallying behind her. Ride or die tweets streamed in, and Rasheeda faced a torrent of criticism for voting her pal out. Jessica Baston was praised for her smart play, although some branded her brutal. Yandy was portrayed as the wronged hero, and the studio's ratings skyrocketed. Producers, despite the ruckus, when Yandy sat alone in her trailer browsing through the flow of supporting comments, tears welled up in her eyes, not from sorrow, but from appreciation. She recognized that while she'd lost the challenge, she'd gained the hearts of followers. She scribbled a quick message to Rasheeda, "Contact me when you can." Then she closed her phone and leaned back with determination. Jessica and Rasheeda confronted one another in the dim light of the rap party, Jessica breaking the pause. "You okay, Rasheeda?" "Look down live," she murmured, voice raspy. "But I won't." Things were different. Jessica shrugged. "That was the game. No regrets." Rasheeda's eyes snapped up. "Maybe I do have regrets." Jessica turned away, mask dropping behind them. The cast cheered, oblivious to their fissure. As the night winded down, black cabs lined the sidewalk. The ladies said their goodbyes. Yandy went into one, and as it moved away, she stared back at the loft's huge windows. Inside, Jessica and Rasheeda remained still. Outside, Yandy's